Before I proceed, this video will contain spoilers for all BV Cops.
What?
Ah, crap. Before I proceed, a warning. Before I proceed, greetings everyone. It is I, your one and only host,
The Cosmic Jedi.
Welcome back to my channel. I've finally seen the Beverly Hills Cop 4 or part 4. And let me give you guys a heads up, by the way. I'm going to be struggling to say this word Beverly Hills Cop. So I know because I want to talk about the previous movies. I don't want to mess up myself struggling to say the word. So I might abbreviate it to Bev Cop 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think it's just easier to say Bev Cop. I can't say Beverly Hills. Yeah, I can't say it fast. I tried it before I turned the camera on and it's a struggle. I don't know why. That's never been an issue for me before. My plan today was to do like a trailer reaction for the 3 previous Bev Cop movies and then do the review for the 4th movie. So I don't know which order I'm going to do it in. Trailer reaction and then Bev Cop 4 review, or Bev Cop 4 review and then trailer reaction. I'm feeling trailer reactions first and then Bev Cop 4 review. Before I proceed, I would like to give you all a heads up. This will contain spoilers for all the Beverly Hills Cop movies 1, 2, 3, and 4. Without further ado, let's proceed, shall we?
Eddie Murphy is a Detroit cop. On
That laugh of his.
Beverly Hills.
I just got off the phone with Inspector Todd in Detroit. He says if you're out here investigating the Tandino murder, you needn't bother coming back.
I don't want to take it anymore.
It's funny, actually watching this now, I can see what they did in the 4th movie because there were many callbacks to the original movie.
Some questions about Michael Tandino.
God damn.
I've never been to a cell that had a phone in it. Can I stay for a while? Because I ordered some pizza.
We have 6 witnesses that say you broke in and started tearing up the place, then jumped out the window.
May I help you? Yeah. I'm looking for victim Evelyn.
I've nothing to say to you.
How you doing? You guys don't know nothing about nothing, do you? You just got your badges and your guns and you're on the job, right? Make sure we get the right drinks, because if I drink club soda, I'll throw up. You know, this is the cleanest and nicest police car I've ever been in my life. This thing's nicer than my apartment.
I just bet you are the pride of your department in Detroit.
It seems painfully obvious you haven't the slightest idea who you're dealing with.
I don't know what y'all think I am. Giving me some kind of food. Hurry up, quicker.
Crawl back to your little stone in Detroit before you get squashed.
Golly. I remember this so well. This is my childhood, man. This movie and Coming to America and The Golden Child, my favorite movies from Eddie Murphy.
Cover me. Police! You're all under arrest!
I think YouTube wouldn't like that music playing in the background.
Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop.
Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, I can say it now, but now I'm saying it fast. It's a struggle. Yeah, this is, I guess, you know what? I think I just weave in the review in between the trailer reactions, to be honest, because I think I'm definitely going to go back and watch the first one, second one, and third one again. Even though I already watched it this year. I think I watched it in March. My friend and I watched all 3 of them in March, and we could see the difference between 1, 2, and 3. I always say these movies, when the first movie comes out, just like The Matrix, especially they're really good, the first one is always sometimes, if not most of the time, is the best one. Give me a second. Yeah, so I feel maybe in between the trailer reactions, I'll do my review. It's going to be a short review.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
I'll just say I prefer 1 and 2 over 4. 4 was a good time. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed 4. I laughed a lot. But whilst watching it, it felt like 3. Part 3 felt like there was a slight deviation or a major deviation from 1 and 2, for sure. Because 1, like I said, I feel it's the best. The second one just stepped it up a bit. I wouldn't say the second one's better than. Can I say the second one's better than one? Give me a second. Let me just go through my archives in my head and see how I felt as I was watching each movie. Because part one is just a classic. It's just its own thing. If they never made any sequels, it would just stand out alone as a perfect movie. And the second one, they stepped it up with the storyline as well. The reason why to bring him back. The third one with the theme park thing, and I don't know if Eddie Murphy was in charge or was part of the production or in any way, shape, or form, if he was credited for the first two movies before three. Because in the third one, there was something I saw about produced or semi-directed or something along the lines of him being part of the whole production team in the third one. And there were some scenes where they were drawn out. Like the scenes where there was too much time for them to breathe. People just looked at like they were staring at each other in the room. The cuts weren't smooth enough or clean.
Damn.
So the things I didn't like about Bev Cop 4 was the relationship issue between Axel and his daughter. I mean, they never even showed the mom's picture. I don't know if it's the same actress that he got together with in the third movie. That would have been a nice continuation thing if it was. Unless she's passed away or she stopped acting. I don't know. I don't even know why they included the daughter. I mean, it was a good story, don't get me wrong. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was a good character. I enjoyed his character. But there are too many other things that just felt like they were making... I know they were making a movie for this generation, but I did appreciate some of the callbacks to the previous ones. But there were similarities to the second one for sure. I do appreciate that. Because when Rosewood got kidnapped, it just felt like it was the same storyline for part two. Only difference is Rosewood wasn't killed compared to their captain that was killed in part two. In fact, was he killed? Wasn't he killed? What? He was killed. In fact, I thought that Rosewood was dead when I was watching this one, because they didn't show him on screen for a long time after he got kidnapped. So I thought, oh, they had killed him. And the way the characters were behaving, none of them were. There wasn't that urge or call to action like, yo, this feels like the other time where Captain was uncovering some things and then, you know, he got taken out by these bad guys. So what if it's the same thing that's going on with Rosewood? That's one thing I didn't like about it. Taggart having a desk job, becoming the captain, that made sense because, you know, getting too old, you're not going to be out there in the streets doing major detective work or doing cop work. That one definitely works. But the way he kept on talking about Rosewood was like, it was like, oh, the conspiracy theory and all that stuff. I was like, after all these years, you guys bonded together and grew up together. In fact, they knew each other before they met Axel. So it felt like it was flippant. They were flippant statements. And you know, Billy, when he gets on a thing, you know, conspiracy theory, I was like, nah, that's not how people who have had such a unique experience, especially after meeting Axel and all the adventures that they had gone on. Nah. After those kind of adventures, your brain doesn't operate the same way anymore. You start to look at things very different. You know, it's one of those things where you say, okay, we're investigating this thing, but what would Axel do if Axel was here? How would we do this investigation if we were thinking like Axel? You know, it's almost like he brought a different perspective of how to do investigations or of life in general to them when he met Billy and Taggart. They didn't do enough of that callback for me. There were scenes where I was like, nah, that doesn't feel organic or correct. Rosewood is going through something. This is similar to part two when their captain was investigating something and they were aware to an extent, but since they didn't hear from him day one, day two, Eddie started investigating, people started getting worried, but there was no like, let's get our feet on the ground and look for Rosewood kind of thing. So it just felt like, oh, it's just Rosewood doing his Batman thing. He's off the grid thing. No, it didn't feel right for me. So that part I didn't really like. The daughter and father thing. I always say things like that in movies can always work for people who are going through situations like that with their parents, whether it's the father and daughter dynamic or even grandparents. I feel those aspects in movies will always help any person or persons going through similar situations where the father and the child aren't talking, or the parent and the child, or grandparent and the child aren't communicating, or grandparent and, you know, grandchildren aren't communicating. So those aspects I can always appreciate that it's bound to help someone or some people's in some way, shape, or form. It's, you know, it'll inspire others to start talking or saying, yo, this is a little inspiration from this movie. Let's start working together and build, this relationship. And it felt like it was the same nonsense they pulled off with Coming to America 2. But I can happily say, if I had to rewatch this movie again or rewatch Coming to America 2, I know it feels like it's a slap in the face statement to make, but I'd rather watch Bev Cop 4 again than Coming to America 2. I wish I never watched Coming to America 2. I heard reviews, I watched reviews, but I didn't know how bad it was. When people say something is bad, you're like, how bad can it be? Till I watched it, it's such an insult.
Come on.
I feel it's an insult on two levels. An insult to the legacy of the first movie.
Damn, son.
And an insult to Eddie Murphy. I don't even know what pitch idea they gave Eddie and how much they paid him for him to come back and do the second one. It does not correlate with the first one whatsoever. Especially the way he left Zamunda, went looking for his queen. They didn't show any aspect of him laying with other women he was coming in contact with till he found his life partner. And then only for part 2 to say he's got a son.
What?
Nah. And then the typical gimmicks and tropes of people who haven't been to a particular part of the world, who haven't been to the continent, and they're just using nonsense. It is what it is, man. I can't shame people. Some people found it funny. Some people enjoyed it. Sometimes these ideas, when people come up with it, it feels like it's a golden egg for them in their head until it's, into the public and people watching and go, oh, this is trash or this is awesome. I imagine there are people out there who don't like The Matrix.
What?
I imagine there are people out there who don't like Terminator 1, 2, who prefer 3 and 4.
What?
I imagine there are people out there who don't like Lord of the Rings.
What?
Harry Potter.
What?
So it is what it is, man. There are probably people who loved off Coming to America 2.
No!
There are probably a lot of people who hated and despised Coming to America 1, but loved off Coming to America 2. So to each their own. But for me, that I will never watch that movie again unless I'm going to destroy it and do a scene by scene breakdown or insult, whatever it is. But to say let me watch it and enjoy myself with popcorn or family and friends, nada. I'd rather watch part 1 again anytime or with my son, and that's it. Part 2 doesn't exist to me. So I was happy that at least out of the two movies that Eddie Murphy was returning to, Come to America 2 is one of them. Bev Cop 4 is another one. So I was like, okay, since they messed up Come to America 2 and then this got announced, I was like, yo, dude, you messed up this one, man. There's a high chance that you could mess up Bev Cop as well, Bev Cop 4 as well. But thankfully, it's a good time. But if I was to rate it out of all the 4 of them, number 1 is there. Number 2 is second. I'd say number 4 is the third. And number 3 is the fourth. That's how I would rank them.
Damn.
But then definitely number 2 got more exciting. Number 1 was exciting, but 2 just got spicier. But I wouldn't say 2 is better. I don't know. I don't want to say 2 is better than 1 because 1 is just the best one. It's the first one. And I always feel I don't like to put the first one in terms, it depends on the movie. For example, Terminator 1 and 2, for me, my experience rewatching the movies, 2 is definitely by far more enjoyable than 1. By far. I can always watch them over and over again. Same thing with Rambo. 1, 2, and 3. 2 is the best one for me. I can watch 3 again and 2 for sure, but 1, I will not watch 1 again. It was just too, I think it was too traumatic for me. And it was too slow. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't bad. It was good, but yeah, I feel 2 and 3 for sure. I can watch 2 again without having to pause or skip. 3 just felt a little longer than 2, but 1, nada. I will not be watching that again. It was too much, man. And then let's look at RoboCop 1, 2, and 3.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
3 is okay. 1 is the best one. 2 is good. But if I was to rewatch all of them again, I would watch 1 first and 2 second, and then I'll leave 3 alone. 3, I might skip a few scenes. If I'm going to watch the whole thing as a whole set, as a trilogy, I'll skip a few scenes. So not every movie in that era, or even today, not every movie franchise or trilogy, or whichever way you want to say it, not all of them always have part 1 as the best or part 2 as the best. Like I said, Terminator 1 and 2 is the best for me, man. Anything else after that is okay. They tried whatever, but 2 is just the highest. 1 was really good. They started off, and just a twist in 2 alone. Part 2 is just a whole package, a whole perfect package.
Come on.
Matrix, same thing. Matrix 1 is just the best one. 2 is good. 3 just too much vis-a-vis and nonsense. So it depends on the franchise. But this one, I can happily say I enjoyed Bev Cop 4, but I prefer 1 and 2 because again, there was a few scenes I didn't like, a few jokes didn't land, but I was laughing a lot when it came to most of Eddie's jokes. I definitely laughed a lot. I just didn't like the way they were treating Rosewood and the way Taggart was acting, because I thought Taggart was doing shady stuff behind closed doors. What? Kevin Bacon, I liked his acting. Was straightforward, simple bad guy. The actress who played Eddie Murphy's daughter, oh, she's beautiful. Oh, wow. Her face, her lips, yo. Yo, she was fine, man. She was fine. Joseph Gordon-Levitt did a great job. His character, the way he shot, the way he used his gun, homeboy did not miss. Dude was very, very particular with how he shot. I like that uniqueness with him. When everyone else was shooting, pow, 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 he would just chill and just aim. There's a way he would just like, I'm not here to waste bullets. He was almost like a cowboy. Really good. He got a lot of headshots. Most of the times, every time I saw him shooting, he was above the abdomen. Maybe once or twice, kneecap when it was underneath the table or thigh or calf or something. But most of the time he was shooting when he was standing up was either at the chest area or above the chest area to the head. So it's mostly headshots or chest shots. Yo, I was like, this dude, I'm surprised they didn't even talk about his shooting skills, if it was gun range or sniper, or if he was going to go into the army. Oh, they didn't mention the army thing, didn't they? Did they mention? I forgot that part. I think they did when it came to the helicopter scene. I think they referenced something like that. But he was a great shot, man. He was a great, great shot. And I appreciated that they had that aspect of him. I don't know if anyone else mentioned that during the reviews, but I was like, yo, dude. At one point I was like, he might be a bad guy in the movie because he was too good with a gun. For a police officer. It was really, really good. Most of the times were headshots, once or twice body shots, but I really appreciated that as a character distinction amongst the other cops and the other characters as well. Eddie Murphy brought his A game as per usual. It was cool, a few stunts some of the stunts, one or two were him, the rest wasn't him, but I still appreciated it. I still enjoyed it. I laughed a lot more than I think I did with 3. And I didn't expect myself to laugh that much in this one. I was like, okay, it's going to be a standard movie. They're investigating something. But when the humor kicked in, I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad I'm enjoying the movie because clearly I'm laughing a lot. The action too was on point. Everything else, I enjoyed, but just a few things here and there. But anyway, that's me done. I guess that's my review. Then you can just stop watching the video here and, go and do whatever you were doing before you started. I thought I was going to leave the review towards the end, but I guess watching the first trailer triggered a few things. I might mention a few things as I do the next trailer reaction. But I thought it'd be fun to do a Bev Cop 4 movie review whilst I'm reacting to the previous trailers as well. All right, then let's go to the next 2 trailers.
All of you eat the floor.
Yeah, this is the one I was like, this is good. That tall chick as well. 6'10" looking.
Axel
something.
Foley is back.
Who is he?
I'd say he's a cop.
This is a Detroit badge. What the hell are you doing in Beverly Hills?
He gave this guy so much headache, man. So much headache, but he didn't care. I love his relentless action as well.
I'm Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Building Inspector.
You stolen this house.
How do you steal a house? It's my uncle's house.
It's just the way he would just tell tales and it just worked. Oh my god, I really missed that, man. He tried it in this one, but he did a little like, I'm too old for this shit. Just give me a rhythm.
All his old buddies.
What the hell's going on here? Who the hell are you? I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone and I come running. Lots and biddles. It's like kibbles and bits, but different.
Oh, this is a
He put Billy and Taggart in so much shit. They must have been, yo, I'm surprised they didn't both lose their hair because god damn. But I like the way he came into their world and just like, yo, you guys are doing everything by the book. It's just Irvine and straightforward and do things like this. Bitch, please. The ways to do things without having to follow the book per se. At least he still got the job done. I feel sorry for the mayor though with all the destruction and whatnot. But I just like the way he came in and said, yo, you guys are too stiff over here. Loosen up a little bit, man. Relax, And it must have been irritating for all of them as well, or most of them. Who is this black guy coming in here just causing trouble in our perfect neighborhood? Perfect lifestyle. Everybody is rich over here. We got to look after our investors and whatnot. And this is just coming in here wrecking shop. Just his blackness is all over the place. Billy. I mean, he was, what did he say? Johnny Wishbone. All the little stories he would tell. He would just go and bother people in their workplace or in their secret club. Such a great time. And he wasn't stupid. That's another thing. It wasn't this gimmick cop thing or he was about to get fired. Or, he wasn't desperate. He did what he chose to do to get the job done. And there's this feeling of if I wait the way you guys are waiting, people will get away with a lot of shit. I'm here to be that irritation. I'm here to be that guy where everyone else just turns a blind eye. I can see what's going on. I won't let you get away with it. It's almost, like a thorn in the side kind of thing, but you appreciate someone like that. He just didn't care. There's a way to do things. There are good people and bad people. And I'm not satisfied with bad people getting away with so much shit. And it's in our faces. We can see him. But you guys are afraid because of immunity and this and that and whatnot. And he just said, fuck all that. You guys are writing laws to protect yourselves whilst you're doing bullshit. So his character, beautiful character, especially the fact that he's black or melanated or brown or African American and so on and so forth. Beautiful. It just came to just cause carnage for a lot of people, not intentionally for the good guys. But you guys are taking too long. I got to get it done. And plus it's connected. You can just, wake up one morning and say, yo, I just feel like causing a lot of commotion for people in Beverly Hills because it was connected to him. So it's personal a little bit, but he still followed some aspect of the rules, whip out his badge and say he's from so and so. And because of the whole badge authority thing, when someone says, say something with a badge, they're waving in their hand and with a lot of conviction, you tend to buy it. And it's almost that sort of reflection of someone who wears a suit and says they have a check and money and I'll pay you if you do this. And so it's a parallel. One person is quote unquote lying to get the job done, whilst the other person is lying to harm people or misuse people or use people or trick people. Beautiful, man. Just beautiful character archetype.
Up and take some risk.
The trickster archetype, of course.
So how long would it take to shave those legs anyway?
I suppose you're trying to be charming.
So actually, I'm just offering my grooming services.
Get out of here, you degenerate! I want you out of here!
Is this a black thing?
Hey! Sound your alarm, you're gonna break it!
I need authorization.
Authorize!
Are we having a problem here?
You Hefner! Axel Foley! And this is Max. And Max kills cops for a living!
See what I'm saying? He's here to cause disorder for you, man.
Well, this is pretty sporty! Don't complain! It's all I can find!
Okay, I can now see a callback to... Because in one thing I did like about the fourth one, right at the start, there was a lot of just unnecessary car crashes or car crashes. Well, Axel crashing into cars right at the start. I was like, this is too, there's some scenes that I could get, it couldn't happen any other way. But when the scene progressed, I was like, yo, now it's just, I don't know, would you call that slapstick? It's just carnage for the sake of carnage. Whereas if it's woven into the story where he has to swerve away from one car and impacts another, but he's like deliberately making sure he's avoiding cars, that's one thing. He wrecked a lot of cars, and I was thinking to myself, so how did the city pay for those people's cars? Did they get a new one? Did they get them fixed? When you put that, that overtime to think about the realism of what happened to those people, just like the Batman scene in the Flashpoint movie, where Batman was trying to stop these 3 thieves in the car. And I thought, out of all the gadgets and tools you have in your arsenal, you couldn't use one. There was no EMP blast, no magnet, nothing. The destruction caused in the city on the roads was unnecessary. A few people died just because Batman couldn't, or the story wasn't written well enough for Batman to be more efficient. This is one of the guys where people always say, oh, if Batman wants to fight so and so, you need to give him prep time because he would figure out your weaknesses and whatnot. So people praise Batman so much, but the way the director chose to write Batman in the Flashpoint movie with Ezra Miller was so stupid. That scene was so annoying to watch. Anytime I'm seeing someone who's supposed to be a competent hero, male or female, just smash into walls and cars unnecessarily, meaning there's no other way to stop it from happening. If it's a fight, for example, it really takes me out of the movie. I'm just like, yeah, now it's just, this is not visually entertaining. It's visually irritating because I'm just seeing something get damaged and destroyed. These are people's cars. These are cars when people used to take their children to school. They used to go to work, you know? And then how long would it take to get fixed? Did they just get a replacement and it's too much, too much.
Kill
them, burn them, blow them away.
Don't worry about a thing. On the job. That's what I'm afraid of.
Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop 2. The heat's back on.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. I think 2 was definitely more spicy than 1. 1 was good, but 2 was just was on point. All right, let's do the third one and then we call it a night. Now watching all these again is making me want to go and watch the whole series again. I think I just watched, I think I've watched all 3 of them.
Hello, welcome to the Beverly Hills Police Department. To continue this message in English, press £1. If you have homeless people on your lawn, press 2*.
So what brings you to California, Axel? Vacation?
I'm looking for a killer. One, please. We got some evidence that points to one in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mean Rufus Rabbit has gone berserko?
You got yourself in the middle.
And the story in Nissan 2 was good. It just that it was too long.
That guy killed a police officer. He killed a friend of mine.
You just keep him out of my face and out of my
But it felt like it was long anyway.
It is a tremendous surprise for Mr. Duvall to have me standing right next to him right now. You know, right now I can feel his body tingling.
Bring that man down.
Code red on the spider.
Now hold on tight.
Axel?
Hey. Officers, I want this man arrested.
I'm sure you can explain everything, or maybe you can't explain anything.
You're going back to Detroit.
You've got to turn yourself in, man.
Why is it so hard for y'all to see there's something bad going on at that park?
Kill him.
Yeah, and this guy too, sometimes he sees it too much, man. Too much.
Surge, right? I'm like dazzled by your new look. Look at your skin and your hair. And then finally you have black hash poopies, which are totally retro, which I love. You put a really good package together.
Even that trailer was interestingly cut compared to the other ones. Yeah, I definitely enjoy 1 and 2 for sure. I'm definitely going to watch them again soon, maybe this weekend. I might watch them backwards, 3, 2, and then 1. But 3 was still fun, don't get me wrong, 3 was fun, but I definitely noticed where there were some shots where it's like, okay, you guys need to cut the scene now and don't drag it out for too long. And there was no background music to assist the scene to go along. It just felt like it was silent and no one was talking. Someone would say something and then there'll be a long pause before another character replies. And they started doing that too in recent DC animated movies. I was like, yo, who the hell's cutting these movies? It's too long. The pause scenes are just because you're just there left thinking, okay, switch the scene. Why are we getting this long shot of something and you're not switching the scene? It just doesn't make sense. So 4 had 1 or 2 shots like that. Just sometimes where I was like, oh, the characters are supposed to respond a particular way, or this scene's supposed to be giving up this emotion, but you're letting it breathe for too long. You're not letting it, you're not cutting it at the right time to switch to the next scene. So, you know, you keep the pace and the momentum. Instead, you're peaking and then you're dipping with long pauses and then your slow graduation again to peak. Yeah, but I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. In terms of, like I said earlier on, 2 great movies that I feel Eddie brought his A game to, or 3 should I say. The Golden Child, Beverly Hills Cop, and Come to America. So out of those 3, the 2 that he's come back to, Come to America 2 and this one, this is by far, absolutely much better than Come to America 2.
Nice.
They are not the same movie, of course. They're not the same style, of course. But in terms of an actor coming back after so long to do a sequel to those 2 great movies, or franchise, should I say, because he's only done a sequel to Come to America 2, whereas he's done 2, 3 to Beverly Hills Cop. It's good to see him return, and I'm looking forward to him doing more stuff. He's already done the funny stuff, the funny dad stuff, but just like Denzel doing Equalizer, I actually want to see more action movies with Eddie Murphy in. maybe some more new IP, some more new stuff, not necessarily doing I mean, if they do a sequel, if they do a BV Cop 5, I wouldn't mind that. I would watch as long as it's just on point. And then again, are you bringing in Rosewood and Taggart, because they looked a lot older than he did. So action scenes will be limited to only Eddie Murphy and his stuntmen, of course. Whereas Taggart's characters, I don't know how you're going to you either write them off, or maybe Rosewood starts to, maybe he sticks to the guy in the chair stuff. I don't know how you write the story. But again, if they say they're doing the 5th one, I'm definitely there for it, as long as they don't mess it up and they don't pull no Come to America 2 nonsense at all. Anyway, that's me done. That's my long ass review or discussion about BV Cop 4. I definitely enjoyed it. It was definitely a good watch. I was worried about it, and I went in with zero expectations, so maybe that helped too as well. Yeah, aside from a few irritating things, as a whole package, as a whole movie, it's enjoyable. But like I said, it's 3rd on my list in terms of ranking all BV Cop movies, all Bev Cop movies. Number 1 is still number 1. I don't even how did I rank it before? Yeah, number 1 is still number 1. Number 2, god damn it, I'm still struggling between 1 and 2. I might change my mind when I rewatch them again this weekend. I might, but I've had a great time with 1 and 2. Jeez, I haven't landed between 1 and 2. 3 and 4 for sure. I know 4 takes the spot of 3 and 3 takes the spot of 4. It's just reversed. But in terms of number 1 and number 2, it's a battle between part 1 and part 2. Literally, they both just work for me. 3, there was more funny stuff and more breaks in between the action as well. Maybe that's why it didn't work for me. Anyway, I'm done. Let me know what you guys feel in the comments. Let me know your ranking as well. Let me know which one you prefer. Which one is your number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 in the whole series. I have been your one and only host,
the Cosmic Jedi,
signing out. Thank you for watching.